Hey everyone, Slimebo here, hopping on another contest. This is for one of the younger, possibly one of the youngest members of the VC. This is for Jack's Tracks Records. He's done a contest now because he'll be turning 13 pretty soon, and he'll also be approaching 1,000 subscribers pretty soon. He asked us a few questions for the contest. There's a couple of questions that I had to modify a little bit because they don't fit my collection. My collection is primarily comedy recordings. The artists that you're looking for generally don't do comedy recordings, but I have one exception that I'm going to show in just a minute. Previous viewers of my channel can already guess what that's going to be, but yeah, we'll start off here. So the first question, show your favorite release from 1982, or from the year that you were 13, which for me was 1982. And for that, I'm going with Oingo Boingo, Nothing to Fear. This band was based in Los Angeles, where I grew up. They featured Danny Elfman, who is now very well known for doing movie scores. If you look him up on IMDb, he has a long list of scores that he's produced or written and produced. He was the frontman of Oingo Boingo. They were originally called the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo, but they shortened their name to just Oingo Boingo through the 80s. Really cool alternative 80s rock. One of my favorite bands of all time. And Danny Elfman just yesterday, as I record this, yesterday on the 11th, released a brand new album of some new tracks that he's created, plus some remixes of a couple of Oingo Boingo tracks. I listened to a couple of them online, and while I can get along with the remixes of the Boingo tracks, some of the new stuff gets a little too far out there into more almost hardcore, almost death metal, almost doom, just a little too far off for me. So I probably won't pick that one up, but I will watch the videos on YouTube. So the second question, he asked, what was your favorite band when you were 13? Well, again, for me, that was 1982. And my favorite band at that point is probably pretty common. You've probably seen a lot of this response. And at that time, my favorite band was the Beatles. This is the first Beatles record that I remember buying. This is Real Music. It's a compilation of songs from their movies. So on the cover we've got different bits of them in character from the movies. So here we've got Hard Day's Night. There's Magical Mystery Tour. There's two of the characters from Help there. If we look at the back, we've got Let It Be. We've got Yellow Submarine, and a couple more characters from Help way over here in the corner. So Real Music from the Beatles. They're what I'm calling my favorite band of 1982. So we'll go with that one. Now here are the next two questions are the ones that I had to modify because my collection doesn't have recordings from these two bands. And the first of those two questions was to show your favorite Rush album. The only one that I know by name is Moving Pictures, but I don't have a copy of that or any other Rush album in my collection. I do, however, have an album where Geddy Lee does a guest cameo, and that's Bob and Doug McKenzie's Great White North. Geddy Lee does a cameo appearance on Take Off. Let's see, where is it? It is on, there it is, side 1, track 7. Starts off with some really fun banter. Rick Moranis' character asks him if their agent got him his payment, and Geddy Lee answers, well, yeah, $10 is $10. And then they go into the song. So one of my favorite records, but that's the only record that I have with any of the Rush personnel on it. So the next question is the other one that I have to modify. What is your favorite Cheap Trick record? Well, again, I don't have anything by Cheap Trick in my collection. I'm about an hour north of where Cheap Trick was formed in Rockford. I'm in Madison, and I do have one of my current favorite bands, Caravan Gypsy Swing Ensemble, did a concert at Sinisippi Park in Rockford. If that's not good enough, using Uno rules, we got the theme song to the Rockford Files on this compilation, Secret Agent File. So two Rockford connections, even though they're not the band that you were originally trying for. And the last question was, tell us who your favorite drummer is. Well, my favorite drummer is definitely not one that you're going to that you're going to know right off the bat, unless you've watched some of my previous episodes. Start off with the runners-up, and first one is Joe Morello with the Dave Brubeck Quartet. And his drumming on Take 5, there's an alternate take of it on this album, which came out, the CD came out last year, and this record was released in January or February-ish. I finally got my copy the day before my birthday in March, but this features Joe Morello on drums, doing another version of Take 5, and take a look, look him up on YouTube. There is a version where he does the Take 5 drum solo on, I think it was a Letterman show. Second runner-up would be someone who played with Benny Goodman a lot, and that's Gene Krupa. He was the drummer in a lot of the Benny Goodman bands. He was the drummer in the trio and the quartet, and then he went off and did stuff on his own with the Gene Krupa Orchestra. And here he is in a compilation, Gene Krupa, the Chicago Flash in Drum Crazy. And some of the tracks on here are ones that he's played with Benny Goodman, most notably, of course, Sing, Sing, Sing. But there's other songs on here with a lot of other fun stuff, with Gene Krupa just having a blast on the drums. But my favorite drummer of all time is someone who started out as a studio session drummer and then went off to form his own band. And that, of course, is Spike Jones. Spike Jones went off and formed Spike Jones and the City Slickers, but even with the Slickers, he was still doing the drums and the percussion for all of the songs. So Spike Jones is my pick for my favorite drummer of all time. So there we have it. 5 questions, I think. 5? Several questions for Jack's Tracks Records for his Push to 1,000 and Turning 13 contest. That's what I've got today. See you next time.